Good evening and welcome to A Night Out In, a virtual fundraiser in support of Hamilton Jewish Family Services food security programs. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for showing that hunger is unacceptable in our community. Your support means the world to us. I hope you enjoy the fun and entertaining evening that our team has worked so hard to bring you. There are delicious beer samples, yummy goodies, fantastic auction items to bid on, and of course, spectacular entertainment, all from the safety of your own home. In the past year, HJFS food security programs have been there to support those in need. This will continue in 2021. Just last year, our food security programs were able to distribute more than 30,000 pounds of food to those in need. Our food security programs presently consist of Carol's Cupboard, otherwise known as the Hamilton Kosher Food Bank, Kosher on Wheels, Hot Meals, and also our community gardens. We've developed partnerships with traditional and non-traditional organizations. In the next year, we will continue to bring food to the vulnerable, educate the community on food security issues, and make sure that no one in need is turned away. So, know that we cannot do the work without you. And again, thank you and enjoy the evening. Be safe, be well. Be kind.
Hey everyone, I'm Lindsay, co-owner of Grain and Grit Brewery in Hamilton. At Grain and Grit, we love supporting community organizations such as Hamilton Jewish Family Services, and we're thrilled to be participating in this great event in support of their food security programs. Grain and Grit is a small community-based brewery in the west end of Hamilton. We converted an old, run-down 2,000 square foot auto mechanic shop into a brew house and tap room, and we opened our doors in October 2017. Grain and Grit is focused on brewing unique and exciting beers that our customers can drink with us in our tap room and that you can also purchase in cans to enjoy at home. We brew all of our beer in our 1,000 square foot brew house, and we squeeze a lot of bang out of such a small space. We do all of our production here, including brewing, canning, and kegging our beer. We brew a wide style of beers at Grain and Grit, from hoppy IPAs to sours and stouts and pilsners and everything in between. We love to experiment with different ingredients and discover innovative brewing methods and techniques. Before the pandemic, our taproom and patio were buzzing with people, and we hosted a variety of events for our community. Once our patio reopens in the spring, we hope that you'll join us for a beer. I'm now going to turn it over to my husband and co-owner Joe, who will walk you through tasting notes of the beers that you'll be trying at home tonight. Enjoy!
Hi guys, I'm Joe, co-owner of Grain and Grit, and I'm here to talk through the beers you guys are going to be drinking today. So we're going to start with our Thrillsner, which is a dry hopped Pilsner. It's Pilsners, there's a wide range of different styles of Pilsners. Ours is more of a Bohemian style, which is a little sweeter and not as sharp and bitter as some other types of Pilsners. A Pilsner is essentially a lagered beer. It's going to be very clean, very crisp, very easy to drink, a little more carbonated than some other beers such as stouts or English ales. It's meant to be easy, light, refreshing. So our take on this is a little different too than a traditional Bohemian Pilsner, where we've dry hopped it with fruity hops. So the one hop is a hop that is very orange-like, so you're going to get a kind of sweet orange citrus from it. And the other hop is more of a stone fruit type hop, so it's meant to be a little bit like peach or apricots. And it's not hopped like an IPA, it's there to be very gentle, fruity, and not bitter. We're looking for the fruitiness of the hops rather than the bitterness of the hops in this beer. So next up, guys, we're going to be looking at our Invisible Friend. This style of beer is an American style pale ale. This style is kind of bridging a blonde ale or a simple pale ale with an IPA, so it's something right in the middle. Basically, we're trying to create a lot of profile from the hops but not a lot of bitterness like you'd find in an IPA. So IPAs would be very hop forward from a flavor and aroma and bitterness. An American Pale Ale, we're trying to go light on the bitterness, but still maintain a lot of those flavors you'd find in an IPA with the hopping. Body on this one is light to medium, whereas an IPA would be very heavy, and a blonde ale or a simple pale ale would be a little lighter than this. So again, we're right in the middle of these two styles. These hops that we're using in this are very tropical, stone fruit, citrus-like. So we're going to get a bit of citrus notes from it. We're going to get maybe a little bit of piney or resin from the hopping, and then we're going to get a lot of tropical and stone fruit-like flavors as well. So you're going to get just a bigger nose on this beer, a bigger flavor from it, but it's still going to be nice and light and nice and refreshing.
We're so happy to be with you this evening for this annual food drive for the Hamilton Kosher Food Bank. Let us tell you a little bit about why we got involved.
Food has always played a crucial role in all of Judaism. Shabbos meals every Friday and Saturday. Every holiday has a special food. There's matzah, donuts, latkes. There isn't a Jewish holiday that doesn't have a food associated with it.
The Jewish law requires that we make sure all of our fellow Jews have enough food. We're even required to feed our animals before we can feed ourselves so that they don't suffer. When we initially set up the food bank, our concern was for the hungry, those who had no food. Today, we recognize a more significant need, the need for food security.
Food insecurity describes a paradox in which groups wealthy in terms of food and technology exist in countries where others suffer from chronic hunger resulting from a lack of food access.
After leaving Egypt, we wandered for 40 years with great insecurity in the desert. And for 40 years, Hashem provided us with food and drink every single day. We learned what kinds of acts of kindness we should participate in by the acts of kindness that Hashem has showed us. And just as He fed us during those perilous times in the desert, we recognize our obligation to be sure that all fellow Jews don't suffer from any food insecurity.
We want to thank you all for coming tonight. We wish you a wonderful time. We thank you for all the support you've given us throughout the years. Let's hope that this year, the upcoming year, 2021, will end food insecurities and things will be better for everybody. And it should all be that there'll be no need for food banks and we should all have a wonderful year. Thank you and stay safe and be well.
And until that time, let's all do our share to make that day come true. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Food insecurity is a major issue in Canada, with 1 in 8 Canadians reporting as being food insecure. It negatively impacts physical, mental, and social health. Hamilton Jewish Family Services has 3 programs working to address the issue of food insecurity. The Hamilton Kosher Food Bank, otherwise known as Carol's Cupboard, is the only one like it. What makes us unique is that we carry only kosher food items. We also carry hygiene items and during the pandemic, PPE. Every month we provide between 1,500 to 2,000 pounds of food to those in need. We also have Kosher on Wheels. A chef named Max Vita approached Hamilton Jewish Family Services. His idea was to provide free kosher meals to those in need during the COVID-19 pandemic. Every week, we provide between 35 to 37 free meals to someone in need. Our final program, it's our community gardens. We are helping people to grow food to be used to help others. In these gardens, volunteers grow fresh vegetables and herbs for our marginalized clients. These 3 programs are all making a difference. They're bringing our community together. They provide spaces for people and to have their needs met. Together, we are stronger. To donate or volunteer, visit hamiltonjfs.ca. Thank you for being a caring community.
Hey there, I am Casey Levy, a Hamilton native and a big fan of the Hamilton Jewish Family Services. I hope you're all having a beautiful evening tonight with the fundraiser for such an incredible organization. And I just wanted to lend my support and frankly thank the organization for all the incredible work they do, feeding people who are alone, isolated, and might not have access to the food and support that they need, especially during this year. It's an incredible cause and something that all of you watching tonight are helping to forward. And so I commend you. I commend the Hamilton Jewish Family Services. And I wish I could be there with you in person to celebrate, but I'm sending all my love from New York and wishing you all health and happiness as we head into this next year.
Good evening. I am Shoshana Telner. I am delighted to be supporting Hamilton Jewish Family Services with this fundraiser. Their food security programs are vital to the community. In 2020, they ensured that more than 30,000 pounds of food was shared with those in need. Together, we are helping for this to happen again in 2021. I am very happy to share some of my music with you this evening. I will be performing the solo piano version of George Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue. Enjoy.
Hey folks, I am David Lawson. I'm going to be your entertainment for the next 10 or so minutes. It is wonderful to be performing for you great folks at Hamilton Jewish Family Services. You are entering your 92nd year of being people who help people. Along those same lines, I wanted to perform some stories from my Jewish upbringing about some people who helped me. I hope these stories make you smile, and I hope they make you laugh. Not too long ago, I was watching an ice hockey game with my father, and I remarked to him that it was the first time I could ever remember that everyone on the ice was younger than me. My father then said, "Oh, that's how it works, David. Lador vador, from generation to generation." Let me tell you, David, first, it's the athletes who are all younger than you. Then, it's the movie stars who are all younger than you. Then, it's the politicians that are all younger than you. And then, you die. My mother is the daughter of a fresh off the shtetl immigrant, and it really shows. My mom uses a lot of Yiddish in her day-to-day speech. And I'm not just talking about tukus, chutzpah, the stuff that everybody knows from pop culture. I'm talking about the real Yiddish deep cuts. My mother will frequently say that she doesn't want to put a kinahora on something. My mother will also often mention that something is giving me spilkies. My mother also, like my father did with Lador Vador from generation to generation, would kind of spice up some of those teachings I got on Sunday and Wednesday and Saturday, going to shul, going to synagogue. My mom once said to me, "David, the highest form of giving in tzedakah is when the giver and the recipient are unknown to each other. So be a good person, not a sanctimonious little jerk." And I gotta say, those teachings really stuck with me about Lador Vador and about tzedakah. My parents' biggest concern, maybe ever in their life, was me. I was an incredibly hyperactive little kid. Now, I gotta say, I myself am not Canadian, but the first trip that I ever took to Canada was a part of a Jewish community center trip to Toronto. And the best memory I have about this trip to Toronto was getting screamed at for stomping on the glass floor at the CN Tower. Maybe you're hearing that and thinking, "Oh, what a typical jerk American tourist." But again, folks, have a heart. I was an incredibly hyperactive little kid. My parents would often say to me that I needed to learn the meaning of self-control. I must have heard 9 zillion times, self-control is David's goal. And I gotta be honest, as a little kid, I had no clue what my parents were even talking about with that phrase, self-control. I didn't understand self-control until I started training for my bar mitzvah. And by the way, bar and bat mitzvah, the entire b'nai mitzvah world, that is why I think Jews go into show business. Because when you're 13 years old, you have to be alone on stage and give a one-person show in an ancient language, no less. And you know what else? It's a paid gig. I got a lot of $18 checks. My bar mitzvah teacher was this man named Danny. In our first lesson together, Danny sat me down and he said, "David, I hear that you have issues with self-control, that you struggle in school, mainly with math and science. Well, David, I have a few questions for you. David, what is your favorite movie?" I said to Danny, "Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back." Danny said, "Okay, David, well, the little green guy in that movie, Yoda, what planet is he from? It's got a weird name, that planet, right?" And I was like, "That's easy. Dagobah, as I slide my glasses up my nose. Danny then said to me, okay, David, who is your favorite band? I said, Bare Naked Ladies. And I promise you folks, that is not me pandering to a Canadian audience. 1 week had just gone to #1 in the United States. I picked up Stunt, and the 3 albums before that, I was so in to those Canadian hitmakers, Bare Naked Ladies. Danny said, okay, David, what is your favorite song by the Bare Naked Ladies? I said, If I Had $1 Million. Danny said, well, I don't know anything about that song, David. Tell me something about it. I said, well, in that song, the singer says that if he had $1 million, he wouldn't have to eat Kraft dinner. But here in the United States, we call Kraft dinner Kraft macaroni and cheese, which I guess means that here in America, we need 4 words to describe something Canadians can describe in 2. Danny then said, okay, David. David, who is your favorite sports team? I said the Washington Capitals ice hockey team, because they had just gone to the Stanley Cup final. Danny says, well, who are your 3 favorite players on the Washington Capitals ice hockey team? I said Adam Oates, Brian Bellows, Dale Hunter. All 3, by the way, are from Ontario. Danny then said to me, you see, David, clearly you have self-control. Because you can have enough self-control to know Dagobah, to know Bare Naked Ladies songs, to know players on the Washington Capitals. It's not that you don't have self-control. You just hate arithmetic. And you don't care about photosynthesis or any of these other things that they're trying to tell you in school. But clearly, you have self-control, David. And we need you to manifest that self-control that you have for Star Wars, for Bare Naked Ladies, for Washington Capitals ice hockey. We need you to manifest it and use that self-control for this Haftorah. Now, obviously, my Haftorah wasn't going to be as fun as Star Wars, Bare Naked Ladies, or Washington Capitals ice hockey, but that was the moment it clicked. That was the moment that I understood self-control. And that I had self-control already. I just needed to manifest the self-control that I was using elsewhere for things like math, science, and for my Haftorah. And I got to tell you folks, I consider myself so privileged, so charmed, so lucky, so blessed that I had people like my father to teach me about Lador Vador, generation to generation, and dealing with things like aging with humor. And dealing with things with humor, that is such a Jewish value. And for my mother, the daughter of a fresh off the shtetl immigrant, to teach me about things like I put a kinahora on you, or giving me shpilkis, these great cultural things like Yiddish, and teaching me things like tzedakah in her own special way. And I'm so thankful for people like Danny. Danny, my bar mitzvah teacher, teaching me the meaning of self-control. These people in my Jewish upbringing, they gave me these teachings and these skills that allowed me to survive and to thrive. And folks, giving people things that they need to survive and to thrive, that's what you good folks do at Hamilton Jewish Family Services, which is why it has been just wonderful to perform for you good folks tonight. Folks, I'm David Lawson. Thank you so much.
Hello, Hamilton Jewish Family Services.
And hello, Kosher Food Bank Carol's Cupboard. My name is Ben Train, this is Jonah Babbins, and we are from the Toronto Magic Company.
We are so excited to be here with all of you, and we know that we can't be here in person, but we're excited to do things virtually, and they asked if we could do a little bit of magic to have some fun together. And we thought, That would be awesome. We would love to do that.
And we thought we would do something really special because this is a very special event. So tonight, we thought we would recreate a famous piece of magic for all of you.
That's right. You know, when people wonder about how Ben and I started doing magic, the answer is kind of silly. We were at home watching VHS tapes of David Copperfield.
That's true. We were very popular with the girls in high school.
That's right. The indoorsy type. You know what I mean? So we thought, what if we brought a David Copperfield style illusion here? That's right. Now, David Copperfield does these things. He makes the Statue of Liberty disappear or walk through the Great Wall of China. And we do not have a Great Wall of China, but we do have the next best thing. Made in China.
Huh?
So it's something. It is something. But we are going to do this trick in a way that David Copperfield never would. We are going to do this entire trick drunk. That's right. Fill it up, Ben.
By the way, children, if you're watching, this is just water. 80 proof water, but still.
That makes sense. Now, I want you all to watch very, very closely. I have here a cloth, a handkerchief, I don't care what you want to call it. Ben's going to hold very tightly at the bottom, very tightly at the top, and I'm going to wrap it around the stem of the glass. Now, on the count of 3, I'm going to pull, and we're going to go right through the stem of the glass. Watch close. 3, 2, 1.
As it melts right through the glass. Now, yeah. I know what some of you are thinking at home. You're thinking, my goodness, those boys are handsome.
Stop it,
I know, it's true. No, you're thinking, my goodness, that happened so fast I blinked and I missed it. Would those nice boys, nay, those nice men, be willing to do it again?
No.
Of course not.
Of course, David Copperfield wouldn't walk back. You think we would? What kind of thing?
But you know what?
Yeah?
David Copperfield is a hack.
Really?
That's right. You could tell him we said that. But when you do, our names are Penn and Teller.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'm Teller, the one who doesn't talk. Okay.
We're going to do this again. Don't take your eyes off the glass.
Watch very, very closely. Now's your time to lean in, because it's going to happen fast.
Like David Copperfield melting through the Great Wall of China. As it melts right through the glass. And now is a good time to mention, by the way, the more you drink, the more fun the rest of the show is going to be.
Actually, I can see some of them are like, we are drinking, and the show still doesn't make any sense. So what's going on, guys? What's that? You have to drink more.
Yeah, get some craft beer.
That's
right.
What's
in our coffee cup.
Is that what this is?
That's what it's supposed
to be.
Really good.
Yeah, it's very good. I know that people are watching us and they're thinking to themselves, like, sure, the magic is impossible.
Incredible.
Outrageous. And those two guys are handsome. But
so handsome.
So handsome, yeah. But is there something that they could show us that's practical? Like something that we could use in the real world?
Ooh, like a life hack.
Yes.
No.
Well, never mind.
But I do have a fun little prank that you can play on your friends or on your grandma or your boss.
Or your enemies.
Or your enemies, whoever it is. Look, next time you're on a Zoom call and someone's like, hey, did you get that package I sent you? You could be like, yeah, it's over here. Let me just get it for you. Who is it? It's just me, guys.
It's one, and then it's another fake. It's fake hands. Okay, they love us at the Halloween store. This is
ridiculous.
so amazing. But this is not the only way that you can use this. There's
It's a useful prank because then you get gloves that you can wash dishes with.
But there are other important ways. Like, let's say instead of wanting to scare somebody, let's say that you were at work and you were up to no good.
Yeah, let's say you wanted to be on your phone for like Tinder or Twitter or Pinterest.
Anything.
Yeah, but you can't do it now the way you used to because you're on Zoom calls all the time. You'd get in trouble unless you use our secret little sneaky trick. Because
Come on, it's a fake hand. You can do whatever you want all day. All day.
Ridiculous.
Something to think about. If you are going to get yourself a fake hand, and yes, they have these at the Halloween stores, at Purim, who cares where, go buy yourself a fake hand. But if you are going to get yourself one, this will work.
Yes,
this will work well. This will not. HR will catch you.
Leads to more questions.
So this, you're safe. This, HR has you. Okay, so just something to consider. 2 hands, no problem.
Good tip. That's a good tip to remember. By the way, if you like these tips, feel free to give us a hand.
Oh, Lord.
Just joking.
Oh, my goodness.
Just joking. We don't need your pity clap.
Well, now comes the sad part. Now's the part where we have to go. But we just wanted to say that it is so awesome what you're doing. It's incredible that you're putting together this amazing event despite being virtual, and we're so happy that we get to be a part of it.
And we just wanted to say on behalf of the Toronto Magic Company and myself and Jonah and that monster who lives under our table.
And, of course, our side chick. We had a great time, and we hope that all of you did too. Thank you so much. You guys were so much fun. We'll see you later. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Hey there, my name's Ben Caplan, and I'm really proud to be playing a song and participating in the Hamilton Jewish Family Services online fundraiser. They're a great organization. This campaign is going towards food security and supporting the food bank and community garden and growing food for people. I believe last year there were over 90 families that accessed this only kosher food bank west of Toronto. Last year they gave out 300,000 pounds of food, so it's a great organization. So please support this fundraiser, and I'm really proud to have come out of the Hamilton Jewish community, and I'm pretty pleased to be able to offer this little bit of music for you. Take care.
The long and winding road that leads to your door will never disappear. I've seen that road before. It always leads me here, leads me to your door. The wild and windy night that rain washed away has left a pool of tears crying for the day. Why leave me standing here? Let me know the way. Many times I've been alone, and many times I've cried. Anyway, you'll never know the many tears I've cried, but still may lead me back to the long winding road. You left me standing here a long, long time ago. Don't leave me waiting here. Lead me to your door, but still may lead me back to the long winding road. You left me standing here a long, long time ago. Don't keep me waiting here. Lead me to your
Good evening. My name is Hannah Shire. On behalf of the board of Hamilton Jewish Family Services, I just want to say what a delight it has been to share this evening with you. There are many people who helped put this evening together, including our wonderful entertainers and goodie providers, Ben Caplan, David Lawson, Shoshana Telner, the Toronto Magic Company, Grain and Grit, Sputniks, Danini Chocolate, Metro, Allied Foods, and Ozeri Bakery. A thanks as well to our silent auction donors, all of our sponsors, wonderful staff, and equally wonderful volunteers. A special shout out, though, to the fundraising committee, who are co-chaired by Rachel Bernholtz and Susan Roth, and whose members include Christine Nuska, Alexis Wenzowski, Joy Picard, and Amy Wigley. You guys rock. You are so creative, and so energetic, and the only people on this planet who could get me to drink beer. I also would like to thank Hamilton Jewish Federation, who supports so many of our Jewish institutions. We could not do this work without you. The people to whom we are most grateful, however, are all of you. You help feed families and provide Hanukkah gifts for children and mental health counseling for those who need it, and there are so many people who need it. You provide eyeglasses and hearing aids for Holocaust survivors. These people will never know the individuals who have helped them, but they will know that this community, this Hamilton Jewish community, has their backs. They will know that they are not alone. They say it takes a village, and indeed, it takes a village. It takes this Hamilton Jewish village. Together we have literally saved lives. Our sages say that anyone who has saved a life, it is as if they have saved the entire world. And tonight you have helped heal this broken world. Our most heartfelt thanks to all of you. Look after yourselves, look after each other, be safe, and as Alexis always says, be kind. Laila Tov, and good night.